seen her talk, I've seen her
A through
recording going.
A through H.
She keeps she's smart, I thought it might be her. She would call.
Joe? Okay, we're ready. It's 6 o'clock. I'd like to welcome everyone to the August 11th, 2025 town work session for the town of Aberdeen. We were not here in July, so if you're watching at home, we welcome you back. And I hope everybody had a restful as much as they could, other than the flood July. So we're back in session, so let's get started. Usually, if this is okay with the board, I read the consent agenda, but everybody see what it is, it's the whole page. If everybody's read this, can I dispense with it tonight?
Yes, absolutely.
Everybody good with that?
Yes.
If everybody's ready. And it is public, so for the ones at home, because I'm not reading, you can certainly pick one up. If you want to come by and get one, but that would save us some time. So I'm gonna get through, let's do the consent agenda.
Make a motion, we approve the consent agenda as written.
Okay.
There's a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. All right, let's turn to the second page. Number 2, consider approval of an ordinance for a temporary road closure on Saturday, October 25, 2025. On a section of Sycamore Street from Main Street to South Street beginning at 5 a.m. and ending at 5 p.m. for a private fundraising strongman competition event, Odin's Arena. Ms. Lindy.
Good evening, Mayor, Board of Commissioners. I do have the applicant here with us tonight, Evan Krennig. If there's any questions specifically to the layout and the information that was provided in the packets, it is projected to be an all-day event. There are really no changes to what our typical street closures have been for that same segment of South Sycamore between South and Main Street. So if there's no additional questions, or if there's any specific event related, what activities are happening during the day, Mr. Krenning is happy to answer those as well.
Chief, you're good
Yes,
with the setup?
Yes, sir. I've looked at it, and me and Mr. Evans already spoke about it.
Great, good, sounds like a good event.
I just had a question about the location. It's actually gonna be, like, the arena's gonna be on the street or like at the Y, or,
On the street.
okay, actually on the street itself, that's what it appeared to be, okay.
Yeah.
Big crowd? You looking for a big crowd? I hope so.
Hoping for a big crowd, yeah.
Good,
Raise as
good.
much as we can.
Yeah, well, that's people from out of town, I'm sure.
Yes.
Good to showcase downtown Aberdeen.
And I have recently gotten approval to use the Coke field in the back for extra parking, and the Y for setting up for participants and their families to set up tents, and potential vendors to set up areas there too, so.
Okay. Can I be in the strong man contest?
Is there an age limit?
Yeah.
No.
There's just a category for you.
Yeah. Find a category for old people.
Masters.
All right. Here we are.
All right, I'll make a motion that we approve the temporary road closure on Saturday, October 25th, 2025, for the section of Sycamore Street from Main to South, beginning from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. for a private fundraiser strongman competition.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Anybody else have any good questions while he's here? Anyone? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? You got it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Number 3, financial audit services contract for fiscal year 24-25. Mr. Watson.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. Welcome back after your month and a half break. What we have before you tonight is the annual selection of an audit firm, and I went out last year. You'll see the summary on the memo where we selected, and the board selected Misty D. Watson, no relation, CPA firm, and we were very happy with her work.
Chief, will you check on that?
Yeah. We're very happy with her work this year, and she can be back next meeting to present the 23-24 audit by law. But while she's here, she's gonna start working on 24-25 audit. So, also, what I'm requesting tonight is recommendation of selection and approval of audit firm for Missy D. Watson. Also, you have to approve the audit contract by state law, where the mayor signs and I sign, I've sent it back to her, and LGC gets a copy of that, and that way she's official to be our audit for 24-25. I did wanna note, and, if you take a look back on the memorandum for fiscal year 25, her audit fee is only $32,000, everybody else is either 47, 250, or 67. So over time, if you look at over a 5-year period, that buys a few things of equipment or police vehicles or whatever.
Yeah.
Just wanna make sure I pointed that out. But that's all I had, and so I'm recommending selection of Mr. D. Watson, approval for our contract.
All right,
Make a
sounds
motion.
good.
Two separate motions, right, Butch?
Yeah, A and B. A, somebody do A?
Okay, I was gonna do it, I'm sorry. I make a motion that we select and approve audit form, Misty D. Watson CPA, PA for the fiscal year 2024-2025.
Second.
Any questions? We have him here. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries. B, consider approval of the Town of Aberdeen 24-25 edit engagement letter. All right, who wants to do B?
I do it, go ahead.
I make a motion to approve the Town of Aberdeen 2024-25 audit engagement letter as provided by Misty D. Watson, CPA, PA, as well as the standard contract to audit accounts.
A second.
There's a motion and a second. Discussion while he's still here. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor and Board.
Thank you.
Thank your cousin for us, Kevin.
Yeah. Distant cousin. Number
Or is it
four.
Denise?
Number four, consider scheduling a public hearing on August 25, 2025, 6 P.M. for zoning map amendment ZA 2401 for 7.24 acres located at 310 College Street, submitted by DGH Management LLC. Request is consider rezoning the property from R10 to neighborhood commercial conditional zoning. Mr. Hill.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, members of the board, as you said, this is a zoning map amendment to 2420, ZA 2401. This is for basically the Aberdeen primary site, which had come in, I guess, a couple of years ago as a general use request. They're now coming back for conditional use zoning, looking specifically for 76 attached single-family homes. It did go to the planning board on 6/19, and it did receive unanimous recommendation on all 4 motions. So we're looking to schedule that zoning map amendment if that's at your pleasure.
And that, how many was it?
76 units.
76, and that fits on 7.25 acres.
Yeah, it comes out to be 10.49 units per acre. The NC zoning district has a 12 units per acre max. The R zoning category has a 6 units per acre max. So they're trying to get close to that 12 unit number.
Can it be said, are they 1-story or 2-story, or we don't know? Yeah, I mean, if you can't say it, it's fine.
Well, I mean, I think we can say it. I think they're gonna be 2-story, although we've seen a site plan, but we haven't seen architectural plans yet.
Okay.
I think they're gonna need to be 2-story in order to,
I think so with a single car garage.
Yeah,
probably.
that's my question.
Yeah.
Probably very similar to Saunders.
That's what it's, my guess, that's my guess. Okay,
I'll make a motion that we schedule the public hearing for August 25, 2025, 6 P.M. for zoning amendment CA 2401.
A second.
and there's a second. I did want to ask before the vote, was that an open meeting with the planning board? Was there anybody there that spoke one way or the other?
no, there wasn't. They've also had a community input meeting
Okay.
as required, but it was not heavily attended either.
Okay.
I suspect we will have some folks at the public hearing.
I believe
there was 2 people
in
here.
favor. It was the barber.
Two people showed up.
2 people showed up.
Two.
Okay, all right, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that one carries, thank you. Thank you.
I have a question. On the way in today, I just noticed there was a home being built. I think it's right, are you turning to Kaiser, right? Is that correct, or am I thinking the wrong street?
It's possible, although DOT has taken quite a bit, you're talking about
Yeah.
at the south end of Kaiser Street?
Yeah.
DOT has taken.
Right where you
quite a
turn to
bit of
go
that.
into the school,
Bethune,
up on the hill.
On the opposite side.
Is that a home? I'm just curious. Is it just
as far
a,
as I know, the face, I think that's the one that faces Bethune.
oh, okay.
Off of it.
I didn't know if that was, just a
be.
private lot. That's not part of this course.
It is not.
Okay.
Could be Habitat, they're still
It's
building.
a two-story house. It looks like a big house.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Mhm.
Well, there were 2 or 3 lots that were up close to the highway that NCDOT took, so there could be still a structure there, and they're doing something with those.
Okay.
I'll be happy to look into that for you.
All right, number 5, consider approval of resolution number 25-15, direct the clerk to investigate the sufficiency of a petition for annexation received under General Statute 168-58.1, submitted by Rosenberg Land LLC for a 0.36 acre parcel located at 425 Glasgow Street, identified as parcel ID 00992165.
Thank you very much, Mayor and Board. This is the first of several steps that are involved in annexation requests. This is only one parcel, but it's part of a larger set of parcels that will be coming through for rezoning request. So at this time, we're just looking for the board to authorize the clerk to begin the process with this certificate of sufficiency.
Can I ask you where that, on Glasgow, I travel that road
Well,
every day, so I'm like, where is there a place
it's
to have a
very-
parcels?
It's a very odd
Plural.
address because it doesn't abut Glasgow in any way, and Joe and I talked about that, and he said at one time he thinks that there was an occupied structure on the lot, and the water came from Glasgow, so that's how the address occurred. It's a landlocked parcel, more or less, at this point, so it's not something you can drive to
Okay,
right now. I do want to mention too that there's what appears to be a 20-foot right of way just to the south of this row of parcels that this one is a part of. Might have been intended to be an alley at one time, it's never been improved. And because the rest of the development that's associated with this annexation is to the south, we will likely include a portion of that 20-foot right of way in the annexation so that they can come to you for road closure and access the property from the south.
so that's,
That's not in the town?
It's ETJ, so we need to annex the parcel and and that 20-foot right of way, or at least a portion of it.
so that's not for this, okay, never mind. I'm looking at the wrong map.
There will be, of course, more exhibits when we get to
That's fine.
the public hearing for the annexation, but I do believe I included a map. I don't have,
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that street
I
names
don't-
on it?
And that easement looks like comes off the end of Moore Street.
right, which is, yeah.
I think I'm still looking at the one for Ron Jackson. Yeah, sorry. That's fine, I'll look at it later. I was just thinking there are already, a set of homes there, and they're also building homes on that other side, so I was just curious, like, the location, cause like across from, that treatment plant, the metal plant.
This one's behind the cemetery.
Yeah, there's nothing, there are no
That's the
structures on
cemetery.
any of those
This
lots
is-
now unless it's something that needs to be demolished.
This is
This is
55 this is the
This is
cemetery.
Glasgow, yeah, that's right.
Okay, this is Head Start or
Yeah.
whatever.
This is Moore Street, and then
Okay,
that's the easement she's talking about, right there.
so right now there is no road there, that's what
Yeah,
you're
it's just the
saying.
one in blue, yeah. That's-
Okay, okay,
It's 20-foot wide, there is a 50-foot right-of-way to the north that we aren't interested in touching in any way, so there could ultimately be access to those lots through that 50-foot right-of-way, but the one to the south is only 20 feet and won't be developed as a road.
okay. This is the black property,
Mhm.
and this is rehab.
That is the black property there,
Yeah, this is the black property,
okay?
and then this would be where Habitat is presently, right? Well, this
They're
is
right in there.
Habitat and
Yeah,
they're gonna develop all
Property
that.
sale.
Okay.
Oh, I think it did sell.
Properties-
Yeah.
I
property
think
sale.
somebody bought it,
It's-
yeah.
I
There's a
think it's
development
sold.
going there, right, Paul?
I believe it has two, I don't know.
Yeah,
King
so.
something,
I think they sold that, Mr. Black probably doesn't own
Mr. Black's
it.
property.
His heirs probably don't own
Yeah, they sold it.
Maybe King's
shortly
down
after
past
he
Legacy.
it. That's what I
There's a
was thinking.
King's Courts or something I thought was going there. At some point, I thought I saw
Not
something.
Contoy.
Do you remember the name?
There is a Kings Ford subdivision that's going to the south, and this is part of that. It's owned by the same developer.
Okay,
Okay,
I was trying to make
yeah.
the connection there,
Yeah,
so,
right,
okay.
That's what it is.
So it's probably the piece that he doesn't have that's already in city limits, or speak, maybe.
It is the one piece that is not already in the city limits,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve, the resolution 25-15 directing the clerk to investigate sufficiency of the petition for annexation.
I second.
Motion and a second. Further discussion? Any? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you. Number 6, consider approval of resolution 25-16, direct the clerk to investigate sufficient of petition for annexation received under General Statute 168-58.1 submitted by Coons Jones, designed on behalf of McKee Homes for 35.5 acres. Parcel located on the east side of US Highway 5501, just south of Legacy Lakes. Identified as ID 00049-872. Mr. Hall.
Mr. Mayor and members of the board, this is follow the same process as we just talked about with the Grosvenor piece. This will be the first in a series of tasks asking for the clerk to investigate sufficiency of the petition for annexation. For the 35 acres, it's just to the south of Legacy Lakes. It's not in our ETJ, but it is adjacent. And as this moves forward, there's also a zoning map amendment request for that piece of property. So both will be going to you simultaneously, probably in October.
Yes.
In October.
What's it zoned as? Well, it's not in town though, is
It's
it?
right. It's RA, I guess, right now.
That's
And
county.
That's
That's
correct.
county.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're-
That's county.
And
So
the
it-
request is for an R20, and they're showing a conservation or intent for a conservation subdivision. But this really is just for the, getting the clerk to investigate sufficiency for the annexation.
So this 35 acres, part of it touches the ETJ?
That's correct. The north side of the butts,
Touches, town,
the limits of Legacy Lakes.
corporate boundary.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's not, is it part of the, I know
Well,
it's
it's
ETJ, but it's
Habitat.
not.
It's not part of ETJ, it's in the county.
Oh, it's in the county,
It's in the
but
county.
what would you say was the town, is it part of the county? Is it
Yeah,
outside
it's
the
in the
county?
county
It's
right
in the
now.
county,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, yeah,
It has
the-
to be part of this
Yeah,
county.
yeah,
Okay.
south of Legacy Lakes, that southern border is the end of our town limits. And the ETJ does not expand there,
Right.
but they are requesting annexation, so we're just gonna have Regina look into that if we can.
Okay.
So Aberdeen would extend farther down 15501 is what's gonna
Oh,
happen,
okay,
about 35 acres.
yeah.
It's gonna keep going till it runs in that Hood County line.
Right,
down
that's
there.
right, that's right.
I was thinking,
Oh, watch out.
that's what I was thinking. We almost
Is
did.
this
It's
border
right, it's
Key West
there.
Road?
It's just down there.
Is it border Key West Road?
No, you're
You
not
got
down
that.
down
Is that
there.
right?
Yeah,
Your
it sounds like
property.
it's almost there.
Is it that big? I don't know if that's, that may be more than 35 acres.
I think it only goes down about like 300 feet or so. It's
Oh,
a long
there's,
shotgun kind of parcel.
Yeah,
Kind of like,
a narrow rectangle.
You wanna annex in,
That's it, yeah.
You wanna annex in.
Legacy, so it's right there.
I know somebody that has some property down there that's not in the city limits.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I've
I know a couple.
heard that story.
Wait till you get the text. And we'll talk about it.
the gateway sign, is that, I mean, that's not necessarily, and Mike would know that maybe, on our actual town border. This would be before the gateway sign, right?
No, it'd be after.
Would it be after our gateway sign?
It'd be after it.
Cause that's gonna be counter, I mean,
That's kinda strange, isn't it?
yeah, so now you're gonna be welcome to Aberdeen and then you'll see the sign after you, but that's
What
fine.
about
I mean, it's just,
Oh, you think so?
well, we went all that trouble. It looks great, by the way. The sign looks awesome. That's redone. It's beautiful.
Since Teresa's so interested, I vote that she pay for the removal of it.
And move it down the street.
down
No,
the
we make
street,
the developer do it.
I second it.
Whoever this developer is, that's part of what he has to do is move our sign. Now that he says we're not.
All
Well, we'll say we are.
right, where are we? Are you, any questions?
I'm good.
Have we confused it enough?
Have we made a motion yet?
No.
Not yet.
This is number 6.
I make a motion
Yes.
that we consider approval of resolution 25-16, directing the clerk to investigate the sufficiency of a petition for annexation received under GS 160A-58.1.1, submitted by Coontz Jones Design on behalf of McKee Homes for a 35.5 acre parcel located on the east side of US Highway 15501 and just south of Legacy Lakes, identified by parcel ID number 000498872.
I second.
Motion is second. Any further discussions while Mr. Hall is here? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries. So if you take that and the one above it, that would make about 36
That's a lot of
acres
land.
coming into the city limits.
That's good.
And more voters. Right, for town municipal.
Well, they gotta build all the houses down there. First. All right, so now we're down to
Get
what?
moving now.
7, discussion regarding affordable and workforce housing initiatives.
So Mayor, in your packet, you've got just a summary of a few things, just general information. And you may recall, and I sent it out back in, I don't want to say March or April, there was a report on affordable housing that was done for Moore County. It was a really good report. And I don't think, we didn't send that as part of this packet, did we, Regina? That actual, the longer report? I don't think we did, which is fine.
Part of the report was in the back.
Part of it was, but not the whole thing. I'll send the whole thing out to you because it's not that long. It's a pretty good read on just where Moore County is. I just kind of cut and pasted a few things on the state, the general concern, and there's a few examples there of towns who have had some success. So really, there's no real motion tonight, but I wanted to just take another stab at the affordable housing, workforce housing, kind of what we can do or not do. I don't think anybody, we've talked about this before over the years, and I know Commissioner Laney has done a good job going to different meetings and being involved with different groups on that. So it's a hard thing to do. And here locally in Moore County, we're so lucky to have Habitat do a great job for us. And so the question is, can we do something along in addition to that and look at the different manners without doing a housing authority? Because I don't think anybody has an appetite for that. Very expensive and just hard to keep up with for a town our size. So most towns that try to support, they make some policy adjustments, usually to their UDO, and there's different ways to do it. And with density bonuses, so you're not just giving away a free, hey, if you do A, B, and C and plant some nice bushes, you get an extra 10%. The bonus is based on for affordable housing, and you put the responsibility for the upkeep and keeping it affordable in the hands of the developer or another group. Maybe Habitat would contract or something to look after those. But what you don't want to do, and this is where I think some towns, it looks good on paper, but it really doesn't work. They have this density bonus, so there's an extra, say, 15 apartments or multifamily units, or even smaller single-family homes that start off affordable based on the percentages of median income, etc. But then somebody buys them and sells them 2 years later, and it's not affordable, and it's done, it's over.
Yep.
That to me is not even worth the effort. So there's got to be a way to make it binding as part of whether some sort of covenants or other deed restrictions that could stay with the land for a while, and an entity who can follow through with that. That's the tough part, not impossible, and I think we could maybe get some help, whether it's Habitat or another group, we can look into that. I just kind of, I don't know, it's one of those things where we want to do the best we can. I'm not sure anybody really is going above and beyond to fill that need. Now, having said that, I mean, sometimes there's not much of an appetite for multifamily homes, and we put everything on the table. Doesn't have to always be multifamily, but who has seen an affordable single-family home around here lately? There aren't any. So it's probably the likely result. Is that a bad thing? No. There's lots of good multifamily houses out there, whether it's a set aside and it's a rental community with rent that's more affordable, or it's a multifamily unit that can be sold for a more reasonable price. Either one works. For instance, there's a lot of new units that are up and coming out at the Martin's Farm property, a lot. That might be a good test to give us some feedback over the next year or two. Do those go up in price? Are they more affordable? I think they will. The prices they've started off with are much more affordable. We'll see how that market holds up. But really, this is not the end, really just the beginning yet again to take a look at it. And I know, I understand planning has a new full-time person whose name is Joey. Maybe he can help us with some of these efforts, looking into it, because I know they have a lot on their plate right now. But I just feel like the board has supported this effort, has wanted to do something, and I feel like we need to give you some good options and see what's out there. Pam, you may have something to add to that. I know we could talk about this for days and hours, but
Yeah, I mean, you really covered it very well. I think, as we see the supply and demand sort of balance out a little bit too, as more multifamily or, lower end, I guess lower priced homes come on the market, it may bring the prices down overall. We're certainly seeing a lot of apartments being built in Southern Pines right now and elsewhere. So, but no, I think you covered it really well. It's a tough, the legislature limits our ability to require affordable units. So, I think a lot of communities are struggling with it right now about how to sort of balance that housing shortage with the need.
So I read an article in the paper about Southern Pines had just built some, it looks like duplex apartments or houses
I saw that.
that I thought looked pretty nice. I mean, they looked very classy. They didn't look like just projects or anything like that, So I thought, if we went that way, that would look nice. It wouldn't, somebody would really want to live there,
Yeah, design really plays a big part in
Right, how we
quality
make
of the
them,
housing.
right.
I through the working with Habitat, and some of you may have heard it also, that, they put stipulations on the people that get those homes. And as soon as that stipulation, whatever the time frame is, they have had people take that house and sell it. And you know what they did? They could legally sell it. Make a profit on what Habitat did, which, I mean, legally, I guess you can do it. Just
It doesn't seem right though, does it?
yeah, just people do things they want to do, but when you go, you have to work. You have to worry about things like that. And you start doing affordable housing, somebody gets it. In this housing market, somebody comes along and says, "I give you X amount for it." What are you gonna do?
Well, hopefully they're stepping up and going to a bigger, nicer house. It's like the American dream.
Well, I understand, but they're getting it below the market's what I'm saying. That's the market. They're getting phenomenal.
We talked about that
Right,
before.
they get cuts,
Yeah, we talked about that before, where maybe there was a deed restriction, where it capped for what they could sell it for, and
If you
There is none, you're saying?
Yeah, I don't know if you can do that or not. I don't know.
I know, but that was some of the options we
In
were
Jersey,
talking about.
you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
You had to sell it back you couldn't turn around and sell it for that big
Well,
profit.
they say, she said, Amy said that they tell them, or Farah, that they want first choice in buying it back. That if you decide to sell it, give us first choice and let us buy it back.
Sure.
But she said, that day in the car, she said that doesn't mean they have to. They can go out and sell it to whomever they want to. Basically, for whatever they want to sell it for.
Well, that's where we're getting. And I've noticed Lee County, there's a lot of building going on in Lee County, and you see the construction signs out there. Walker's Landing. They always have some cute name, and it says into 200,000. Well, that's a whole lot cheaper than it is in Moore County.
Yeah.
You can't buy a house in Moore County for $200,000. Well, they're building them up in Lee County.
And some of y'all probably seen them.
I've seen them.
You've seen them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 25 miles up the road.
Yeah, and they're $75,000 to $100,000 cheaper than what they're building them here, and some of them are the same, exact same
It's
floor plan.
just about the same house, but
Yeah.
they're advertising it for 2. That same house in Moore County would be $325.
Yep.
So you're talking about affordable, it's not the right term, but we're in the county that people expect to pay this kind of money, or they're looking, if they go buy a house in Moore County, they're gonna have to pay this price. Go to Lee County, you can buy just about the same house for $100,000 less.
Well, at one time it was like that within the county, cause
Well, not anymore.
when we shopped, you know,
Not
certain areas of
anymore.
Moore County were cheaper than other areas of Moore County.
Not-
Basically, same house,
Not
basically,
anymore.
same
anymore,
builder,
no.
McKee.
Not anymore, yeah. Well, this has been around, and a lot of places are facing this workforce housing. I like the term workforce housing. I've always wondered about the affordable part of it. That's affordable for who?
Right.
It may be affordable to me, but maybe not to the next person. And I know we need this in this county because we're getting built out with big houses and people moving here, which is making it almost impossible for working families to buy these houses. And we can see it all over the county. And so this is an issue. Up on, what's the one that goes by the old Sears? That's not Sun, is it? Magnolia. You know, there's two duplexes up there on Magnolia. If you ride by and look at them, you wouldn't have any idea. It's a 2-story house. But you have no idea that it's actually a duplex. That's the way to do it. Instead of putting 2 jammed up, do it like this, and if somebody didn't know it, they would have no idea that those were duplexes. You remember when those came in a couple of years ago? All right. Anything else on this?
Mayor, Regina did say that on the electronic version of the agenda, that full report is attached to it, so if you're looking for it, you got it.
All right, thank you. Close that out. Anything else on
I just want to say that
Yes, ma'am.
I found that was a very good report.
Yes, ma'am.
That was very good.
All right.
Well done.
Close out 7. Go to 8. Consider approval of payment for. If everybody's reading this.
I read it and I was like,
Consider approval
wow.
of payment for 4 new pickleball courts at Aberdeen Lake Park.
They'll be built before the ones at Legacy already, I bet.
I knew they were building them down there.
It's taken forever. They still haven't finished them.
I thought
Where
it was
in
already
Lakes
been
are they gonna be?
They keep saying that they have to seal or set or the repaint or I don't know. The whole summer's gone by and no one's had pickleball up there. We've gone over to Rassy Wicker,
There you
the ones of us that get together. Yeah.
go. Union workers. All right.
Alright, so we're-
Consider approval. Let's do some discussion here on this.
So Mayor, and Phil may have some to add to this. So make a long story short, so basically, after the storm event, and the flooding, we had a contractor who's basically finished the lower court repaving, the one that was damaged by the flood. And we started kind of kicking around the idea of, hey, could we get some pickleball courts in that lot as you're pulling in there to the left between the road you drive in and the creek, basically. Pretty good stretch of land. It's about
Where the rescue squad building was
yeah,
at.
exactly. Where the rescue squad building was. About as flat as it can be. So anyway, we started just kind of putting together some numbers. Philip talked to the contractor. And so, make a long story short again, you see the numbers in the memo, basically, for, it says gating, but it's supposed to be grading, and paving, from Roberts. They estimated they could do it. They got equipment on site. They're there. In the next couple of weeks, they could do 4 courts in that stretch there, 4 courts, for $46,765. Now again, that's just the paving.
Sure.
So there's also paint, nets, fencing, other amenities that go with it. And you see some of the estimates there. The fencing is pretty high, the 24,000. It depends on the height of the fence, what's there, to make it work, because you can't just not have fencing. You've got a creek behind it. So you have to have some higher fencing on the creek side, and maybe something lower on the other, three sides that, really you're just kind of stopping the ball from rolling. It's not like, you don't hit home runs unless you're really bad, I guess, over the fence. It's more of, and those don't bounce quite as high. Like you would have that concern of the tennis ball that goes over the backside fence. But still, you would want to protect it from getting in that creek. So we got some, a little bit of judging to do there on what that fence cost would be. So we're thinking we can do it somewhere between what I've estimated, somewhere between $72,000 and $78,000 range, maybe $80,000. Now that does not include lights, but we do have a power line, a line that's already been installed. That's going from those power boxes by the pavilion under the new pavement. That's just there in a sleeve to hook up for the future. That wouldn't be part of this project if the board wants to approve it and move forward. So a couple other questions. So we had an engineer from LKC come down and take a look at it for the flooding question. Clearly it's in low ground, so we have to accept that and realize that. But his assessment was because it's not in the direct flow like the other parking lot was, and also he said we could put up a little a berm to kind of break the flow, whatever comes there, to keep it from getting under the pavement and just curling it up like it did the other parking lot. Because in the other parking lot on the other side and from more in front of the building, it was underwater too. It came out fine. So it could withstand a flood. I mean, it's a little bit risky, but that's why it's available and that's why it's there. We've got a playground that had some impact, but that was kind of on that path of the flood. And of course, we're rebuilding that, and that's going to be a pretty expensive, we'll get to that in a little bit, but a pretty expensive endeavor that we're hoping to get some help from FEMA. So anyway, that's just something to kind of absorb and recognize. But I think we can do it and make it work. So on the funding size, I had Butch take a look at it. He feels that with, you've heard these numbers before, you hear them all year at the different months and quarterly reports that Butch gives. We got two sources, because obviously this is not in the budget now. Obviously we've got contingency, we've got a pretty healthy contingency. We've also got the overage that we typically get on the sales tax. And there's a third part of the sales tax. There's also a refund portion. We pay a sales tax, but we're not liable, but we pay it, and then we get reimbursed from the different entities we pay it to, and that comes once or twice a year for the years, previous to that. So we do have some of that money coming in. We think there is going to be an overage on those funds. So between that reimbursement amount and then just the basic sales amount alone, we think there's probably enough money to cover this. And then of course there is contingency which we could use either on the front end until that money comes in, if the board's interested in doing it. So I think it is affordable. I know it's pretty quick, moving forward, but that was part of the commitment by Roberts, if they could do it here in the near future. Obviously, rain and weather might slow them down a little bit, but they're talking about getting the work done the next 2 to 3 weeks, if weather's permitting. Of course, it'll take longer. We've got to stripe it, paint it, get the fence up. So it's a project. I'm not going to make any promises till I know more if the board does want to move forward with it. But I feel like this entire board has been interested in those courts. We looked at some other places over by Sharp Park and those areas, which I still think are good, viable options, but there are no restrooms there that are convenient. Of course, this has got both parking and it's got restrooms right up the hill. So it's got everything built in, because you start adding that as an additional cost. With these courts, you can just double or triple the number easily. So again, it's got a lot of good things going for it. So I just felt like if there was an opportunity, we should try to put it together and bring it to the board. And so here we are.
I know at one point we were talking about putting a split rail fence on that side to keep people from parking over there. Whatever happened to that?
On that same side? Mm-hmm. I think it's viable. I think part of that was We do use it for overflow parking for July 4th. That's about it. So I think we're trying to make that not any more difficult.
Right.
But I mean, clearly, a pickleball court and chain link fence wouldn't stop them.
Takes care of it.
I
yeah.
think it'd be nice to have pickleball.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of people
I
playing.
think that a lot of people are playing that now.
Oh, yeah, it's extremely popular.
Very,
No
very
question.
popular.
Adam
Good
knows
for
this
Aberdeen.
too.
What does he say about it?
They're everywhere.
Yeah, and they are.
If you think of, the town of Aberdeen is 10,000 people. We don't have a single, tennis court, not a single
That
tennis
would be-
court in
that
this
would be
town.
really good over there.
So we're missing tennis courts and we're missing pickleball courts and we're a large town on 10,000 people. And Adam's gonna give lessons when we get them built, is that right?
Absolutely.
Cause I don't know how to play.
I know someone.
Can you use a tennis racket?
We've actually,
No.
we've actually thought
No.
about
You could, but I wouldn't.
I wouldn't suggest it.
I've got a tennis racket, but I got nowhere to play. I have to go to Southern Pines to play
Have
up
you played
there.
pickleball?
I've never
Well,
played
if you
it.
play it, you'll love it better than tennis. I'm gonna
Oh,
tell
yeah.
you, or at least I did.
Yeah.
Tennis
Well,
is too hard. You have to work too hard.
the old courts, the
To
old
me,
courts
pickleball's easier.
back when we didn't have any tennis courts,
Just get hurt.
the ones in Southern Pines were clay. We used to go there and play on clay courts. Do you remember the clay courts up there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to play on clay courts in Southern Pines, but I think they've paved them now. I think they have. And I was telling, for the ones that remember, there were a couple of tennis courts right here at the lake. Anybody remember
I
those?
do.
Did anybody ever try to play on those?
I did.
It was rough. They had used asphalt like you pave a road. That's what they put out there. It tore you remember that? It would ruin your legs out there trying to play on that. We'd go down and try to play. By the time you played a little bit, you were worn out down there because it was not smooth. It was, you could see it had a grain to it,
Yeah.
like a street out there.
Weren't there two behind the old elementary school?
Yeah.
Back there in that back lot?
That was the school system, did it? Yeah. Anyway, here we are.
I'll make a motion that we approve, the paving for the 4 new pickleball courts at Aberdeen Lake.
My second.
Motion is second. Further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
So, based on what Paul was saying, I'll bring a budget amendment back when we know what the cost. Okay, that way you only see it one time for the budget amendment, okay?
Okay.
Hopefully you can.
Yeah. All right.
That was
Number 9, discussion for opportunities for a grant application for the upcoming Moore County CVB one-time project fund. And I know, Paul, you're gonna do this. Ms. Beavers and I are on that MPO, and the DOT was going to allocate money for, what was it, pedestrian or
Low carbon
low carbon, which is
Emissions.
walking.
Carbon reduction.
reduction, yes.
Program, yeah.
And they put it out to the members of the MPO, not the whole county, but the MP, which is this end of the county. 3 towns said, okay, we'll get into it. One was Whispering Pines, Southern Pines. and
Southern
Aberdeen.
Pines / Pinehurst had a joint.
Yeah, they had one, and then Aberdeen. Well, Whispering Pines, because of the flooding they've had up there, they have withdrawn, is that correct? So now it leaves Southern Pines /
Two
Pinehurst
projects, yeah.
and Aberdeen. And I don't know how, you can fill us in on that because our money didn't meet the requirement, is that
No,
right?
it was fine.
Is it fine?
They were, yeah, it was fine.
Okay.
And they worked that part a while back.
Okay,
Because, it was, I mean, it's actually a very large project, it's just a portion of that.
yeah,
And so, the question was, whether the whole project with our match were well over the $100,000.
okay,
And so they were splitting hairs, but I thought they were overthinking it, and
I
DOT
did
said,
too.
no, you're fine. But also with what you just said about Whispering Pines withdrawing their project, we picked up, about 31 or 2,000, I think, to
Additional.
our sidewalk because of that. So we got proportionally allocated, with the additional.
that's what I was
funds.
gonna ask,
Yeah.
since they were not using, they had withdrawn, that money was out there, could we use it? And so
Well,
we can-
the technical committee, we talked about this last week, and it was already approved by that committee to go forward to your committee, the governing board,
Okay.
at the MPO. So at your next meeting, which I think is next week, maybe?
Wednesday,
Yeah,
next Wednesday.
next Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah, a week from.
It'll be on your
Is that
agenda
right?
to approve, because DOT asked for it to be reapproved with the new project, but they seem like as soon as the board recommends it, it's in the system and moving along. So, yeah, it's good for us. We picked up an extra, 30,000 for that.
That was the question.
It's a short project, but at least
Yeah.
it's another sidewalks.
Yeah, when I
You
saw,
wanna hurry, like,
when I
yeah.
saw Western Pines withdrew, that I thought that money's got to go somewhere. Is that, it's not this Wednesday, it's a week from Wednesday?
Yeah, next Wednesday,
Right.
Okay, good,
That's right.
thank you.
sorry.
Okay, that's great, that's 36,000 more than we actually asked for. And that'll extend some sidewalks on
Sure hope so.
it.
Eventually, some like sidewalks take forever, but,
Well, I know.
gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, okay. Any other discussion on that one?
Well, this is the CVV
Yeah, this
we're
is the-
discussing now,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
This one is not the SMPO one, this one
Right.
you're talking about,
No,
Yeah,
you're getting ready
this
to
is a
talk about
different
this
one,
one.
yeah. Yeah, I'll talk about that.
Be sure, we're all on the
Right.
same page, okay.
yeah, this is CVB, one-time
Gotcha.
project fund, yeah.
Right, so, on that, which is, this is item, number 9 on the agenda.
Yeah,
So, if you remember, about 2 years ago, we applied for funding, $250,000 as a match in funding from CVB for improvements to the sportsplex, which we were awarded that. That was for the paving, additional paving, walking trail, and a tot lot. And that was approved, completed. We're done with that. So now, 2 years later, the CVB is going to issue another. They call it a one-time project fund, OTPF. Another $1 million is up for qualifying projects, and we got to apply by I think it's September, what I have on there, 10th or 9th. No, there it is, September 12th, is when the actual written application is due. And I can obviously put that together, but no, so it's gotta be a qualifying project. And last time, we applied, we gave them 2, I did not expect to get both awarded. We had the Sportsplex project and also had the auditorium improvements was the second one. And part of the kind of to me, the key qualifier is, in theory, you're not supposed to just do, whatever, a basic park improvement that's just for your park system. You're supposed to do something that brings people in from out of the area who will want to get hotel accommodations.
Yep.
Because that's the group who's awarding the money is a Convention and Visitors Bureau, and it's based on a hotel motel tax. So that's the law. I mean, that's the legal requirement there. So that's a big element. So there are a lot of things we could use it for, but to really make it a regional event, and I think the auditorium money easily qualifies, because once we get to do some real rehabilitation, we can easily bring people from out of town, plenty of hotels to stay, and obviously that's been our goal from the beginning. So I just wanted to get recommendations, direction from the board. That's certainly my recommendation, but there could be others I can't think of. Remember, when you do the qualifying, the criteria it's got to meet, that's where it gets to be a little bit more difficult. So my recommendation is to vote to allow me to move forward with the application, similar to what I did last year. I gave you kind of a taste of what we did last year. It'd be similar. I'll give them a few more stats on a few things, just to verify that what it is. But again, we're one of the few auditoriums that have that capacity for seating, and obviously it still needs some work. And I know Chief Richardson has been working with Tim Bird, our facilities supervisor, and we've got plenty of what to decide where to use the funds. So really, you're talking about if I apply for $250,000, it's a $500,000 project. But remember, we've always set aside money for that auditorium anyway. So that's really not new money for us. That's just might be more of a deadline to spend it now if we get this awarded to us, but that's still money that we've already, had in our long-term capital plan. So there's really nothing new there. And between HVAC and other building improvements, and then of course, if we do anything that's speaker, audio related, that's, you can
Lights.
spend that money, lights, you
Yeah,
can spend
all
that
that
money
would be-
pretty quickly. So we
We
kind of
gotta have that
decide, you know,
stuff.
first and foremost, I mean, I like the structure to be in place, so we'll see what that is, but I mean, we're talking, I mean, it's a couple $100,000 alone just on the HVAC needs there, to really get it where it needs to be. So, anyway, the recommendation is to, allow me to do an application, with CVB for, the $250,000 as a match, for improvements to the auditorium.
What kind of floor is it? I can't remember.
Wood.
Is it just tile floor into the seats and the aisles?
It's concrete.
Carpet aisle.
Just concrete?
Yeah,
got- yeah.
carpeted.
It's got like that really industrial, like, kind of,
Yeah, I'll get my,
Carpet.
couldn't remember what was in
yeah,
there.
yeah.
That is a sleeping giant sitting there.
Yeah, it is.
700 seats. You name me another place in Moore County's
Moore
got
County,
that.
Coral Society wants to rent it if it were available
If
right
it
now.
was finished, it would be, people would be wanting to use it. We got, and I would suggest, of course, I may not be
It'd be a
around
lot.
to see it, but,
BPAC.
I would suggest putting a new facade on it, cause it looks like a school.
Yeah.
I'd do something on the outside to dress it up, but that's another story, that's not here. But, if.
Let's get it usable first.
You get it usable first.
Then
Yeah,
do the outside.
and then, thinking about this, I mean, Southern Pines High School had the auditorium, but it belongs to the Montessori now, so they don't have one. Pinehurst High School had an auditorium, but
They tore it down.
it's gone.
Yeah.
So you start going around the county, who's got an auditorium? And number one, who's got a 700 seat one?
I know.
The one that's closest to it is that BPAC.
Yeah, yeah.
Good thing it's 700 seats.
And
You,
it costs a lot to rent BPAC and to rent the Pinecrest High School as well.
Pinecrest has one, Union Pines has one, I'm not sure about Northmore, they may have one too, but those are on school property, and you have to rent. We own one.
Where's
And
the
the one we
BPAC?
own is bigger than the rest of them.
Bradshaw Performing Arts
Yeah,
at the
Sandhills.
At Sandhills.
Oh,
College.
Sandhills, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
At the college.
Yeah. Who was it? Was it you? Said, you know, that, the one at Sandhills is the BPAC. Ours is the
APAC.
APAC,
I didn't know that's what you're calling.
right? And A beats
That makes us
B.
better than the B.
A beats
We got a whole, and better than DPAC up in Durham.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we're at the top with the A, which I never saw in college, but I heard about them.
Well, I was gonna ask this question, so with Flacco, is it Flaccorp from Florida, that's bought the property, would we have to, if we get awarded the money, we can go ahead and do any of our improvements?
It's our
Yeah, cause we
It's
own that
just-
building, they got nothing to do with it.
Right, but like, we couldn't do it, we have to wait, we don't have to wait for
No.
anything,
No, it's our building.
okay? Cause he's supposed to do the parking spaces, right?
Yeah.
That's part of his deal.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, he wants to do them, so.
Well, right, okay,
That may be something we eventually help out with, but he wants to because he just wants to dress it up, so, which, you know, I think it would be a good idea.
All right.
I'll make a motion that we approve town staff to apply for the grant application for the up and coming Moore County's CVD one-time project fund.
Second.
Motion and a second, further discussion. Anybody? Sounds like a good deal to me, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, 10 quarterly development update.
Well, I had received a request for these to start coming back to the board. Apparently, this was done some years ago, and back during my previous time here, they were quarterly transportation updates because we had all of these projects that we're now enjoying so much in their proposal stages at the time. So I was trying to keep the board apprised of how those were going. But what I did on this one, this first one out of the chute, was to go through the active subdivisions, give you a rundown of how many units were approved and where we are with that, as far as build out, and just give you a sense of where those are. And hopefully this is similar to what you were seeing before or what you'd like to see. We can do it in a table format or, however, whatever helps you. I did create a map to sort of orient you to where these developments are. I think most of us know where they're located, but just to get a sense of that. And as we get new ones, approved, we'll add those to the list, and we've got a couple that are getting pretty close to build out, and we'll take those off.
Well, I tell you, all of us have had people come up to us on the street and ask what's going on, and we
Yeah.
don't know. Kind of puts us on the spot.
Right.
We don't know how to answer
We
them.
don't want you to be on the spot that
Well,
way.
I mean, it really,
Keep a copy of this in your pocket.
yeah, people will ask, well, what are they building over there? And I go, where? You know, where, what are you talking
Oh, I
about?
didn't know
They do it, they do all
Homes
of
and
it.
Legacy,
But it's better if we do know.
Absolutely.
56.
So this is just for your information, but happy to embellish it in any way that'll benefit you for future reports.
Sounds good.
Probably do another one in October and then another one in January.
Okay.
Thank you.
What is going on out at the conservation?
But we're gonna talk about that,
Hold
Another
on, hold on,
time.
in
hold
a
on.
few moments.
Awesome. Just asking, sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
Nothing,
Thanks a lot.
hopefully.
Okay. All right. Any questions on 10?
I was just gonna say, I rode out to Wynn's Way, Eric lives out there, and I went out there to visit his wife one day, and it looks really nice. Those homes out at Wynn's Way, they've come all the way out to Highway 5, almost, there's a way in from Highway 5 now. And they look really nice, they're not crammed up
No,
against each other.
They're big lots.
They're big lots. I think they did a really nice job, and they have an HOA, they have a pool, and
Big lots.
so, yeah, I know we can't always, designate that, but
They did
judging
good.
by, like, my neighborhood, where you look out your door and there's your neighbor,
Yeah, they
you
did a
just
good
can see
job.
everything. It's a nice neighborhood.
They did a good job out there, it sure did. Okay, I'll close out 10 and go to number 11, other business. Got anything?
I got something.
Okay.
The other day I was at Tidal Wave Car Wash, and one of the police officers drove up in his patrol car and had it washed, and he was out there vacuuming it out. And I walked up to him and I said, "I trust that you're not paying with your own money to have this car washed." And he says, "Yes, I am." And I said, "Well, that's going to stop today." Well, not today, but it was going to stop. I said, "I thought it was horrendous that they're having to pay to have the car washed for a car that belongs to the town." So I would like for staff or Butch or somebody to investigate a fleet price at Tidal Wave for the cars, or a reimbursement system or something to pay for them, so they don't have to put their own money. I think it's horrendous that they have to put their own money to pay for a car wash for a car that belongs to the town.
Yeah, no problem. We got a few options, and that's one of them definitely. So
Okay.
maybe Chief, can you help us out with that?
Yes, but I appreciate that, but whenever we started the take-home car program, that was one of the requirements that we kind of,
I still think they shouldn't have to pay for it. Right. We don't make them pay for the get an oil change, do we?
no, sir.
And say they still drive their car home, so why should we pay for them to get the car?
Well, we could have it like whatever, once a week or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Some that's reasonable, but there are fleet kind of, I think, deals out
We
there.
do give all town employees that have a vehicle the option to clean up at Public Works and at the fire station, and we buy all the material. So it's been, but we've checked.
But they have to wash it,
And it
yeah.
is a good deal up there, and they have looked to give us a fleet price, like they do on several, like the county and several,
Yeah.
and then we can include all town.
Yeah.
But how often?
Have you seen highway patrol cars going through there?
I have.
Yep.
So I don't know who's paying for those.
Yeah.
So
They are.
the highway patrol, they are, the troopers, okay. All right, yeah. Well, they can bring us something back. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Who's got it?
I just wanted to make everyone knew that we've got a new precinct voting change.
Yes.
So it was voted on by, even though I went to the meeting and, asked them not to change it, just because I'm a creature of habit, and I think most of us are. But they've decided to move it to, New Life Tabernacle Church for East Aberdeen. So East Aberdeen voters will now vote at the New Tabernacle Life Church.
That was in the paper too.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
In case you don't know where that is, we'll let you know.
That's
North Pine Street. It's on North Pine Street.
that's gonna be determined who shows up over there. That's, to me, it's
I can't imagine a worse place to put that.
I know,
voting
I
poll.
thought that
I know,
one too.
I just can't, that little old Maple Street, it's hard to even get two cars by. I don't know where you're supposed to park unless you park in the church parking lot over there, but
Well,
I'm just waiting to see who
Yeah.
actually takes the time to come over there instead of going right down Main Street, pulling in and voting and driving off.
right.
And if we don't put a sign there that says it's been moved,
Right, they'll
nobody will
vote.
know it.
I don't even.
Yeah, but
And they're already
that's not our place to
confused.
put it, it'll be their place to
Oh,
put
yeah.
it since they moved it.
And they're already confused because early vote, everybody votes at the lake.
Yeah,
So then everybody that goes over there, and then when it's time for municipal elections, they'll come back, they'll go back to the lake, and they'll have to send them back. So, I understand. The thing is, the question came from the Board of Elections Director, Tawana Dixon, is her name.
yeah, I think that's
Is that
right.
right? She wanted it moved because based on what she's told, like from the state, the amount of people that live here or live in East Aberdeen District, if everybody were to come to vote, that wouldn't be big enough, that it's not a big enough site. That's the problem, the site itself. Like when they go in, there's a line out the door. So it's what the state's directing to her.
Yeah,
And just in case anybody asks.
yeah. I'm kinda hate to see it go over there. We'll just have to see if anybody participates voting over there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be different. It's really gonna be different. Really gonna be different, sure.
Paul, can you give us an update on the sale of the rest of the school property?
Yeah, so, besides taking longer than anybody could have imagined, so spoke to the developer, actually I'm meeting with him, depending on our schedules, either tomorrow morning, maybe tomorrow afternoon, to get a few more details. So, he had been pursuing a loan with, the SBA and it's got too complicated. I've heard this before from other people, the paperwork and the requirements get to be difficult. I know he's been working with Pam with some tweaks to the design, so I think that's getting closer. But he does have now, which might be the quickest, shortest way, he does now have a new private investor who he says is gonna fund and get him across the finish line. So I guess that's good news. I just wish it was, again, sooner than later. I don't know.
Cause we're pushing, November would be a year beyond what he said he was gonna close
At
on it.
least, yeah.
I mean, that was the last date we were given.
Exactly, yeah, and trust me, I remind them, that everybody's waiting for, that second closing to happen. Remember, we closed on the first half, but not the second half, so,
Yep.
yeah, no, we need to, so I might have more information after our meeting tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
So, yeah, no, I'm glad you asked that. I mean, I've got a quick list of, damaged stuff, I won't go into a lot of detail from the storm, but just whenever anybody's done.
Anybody? I was,
I was just gonna share this little book that's come out, the Pilot. It says the Pilot puts it out. I just saw
Yeah.
these the other day. If you haven't seen them, you go to the section on hotels and almost every one of them was in Aberdeen.
that's right.
So there's some cool pictures and businesses, a lot of our, downtown businesses. And there is a new business open, in the corner of Main Street. I met the lady who owns Ashley the other day and she's excited, a lot of energy. Yeah, you brought her a picture of the original
Yeah.
building. She was tickled to death about
I brought her a
that.
picture of it.
So I hope everybody will go out and support her if you can. She's got a charm bracelets where you can make your own charms. Change charm now. Have you been there? Yeah, it's cool. She's got some cool things in there.
That picture was the south side of Main Street from the corner. Her building was, the one that's there now is, where's Linda, she's already gone. Yeah, they own that building, but, the picture, you can date the picture between 1906 and 1912.
Oh, really?
And because her building, the one that you're talking about, that the ladies moved into, was built in 1906. Page Church was built in 1912, 1213. But if you're looking at the picture, hers is there, but Page Church is not. So you can deduce it's between 1906 and 1912. That's a 6-year span. So I had that picture and,
Yeah, she was excited.
I
Had it
told her
framed and
I'd bring
hung
her
on the
one,
wall.
so, anyway, all right, that's good news.
Yeah, that was exciting to have a
Get some
new
more,
business.
get some more things open on Main Street. Who else has got something?
Anything on library, just quick?
Yeah, that was one of them on my list.
The library?
Where are
Okay,
we at
sorry.
the library?
Sorry, Mayor.
That's all right.
We,
It's been a month.
We started putting lights in today.
Oh, did you?
All our inspections
Oh.
have finally finished.
Duke showed up?
No, Duke has not showed up. If Duke had showed up, we would probably be a whole lot further along, but they have actually hung the lights today. And our building inspector was nice enough to go over and facilitate to get us some movement going on while we wait. And, so they've done, and as soon as Duke comes and switches the power from one meter box to the other, it'll be off to the races again, and it'll be, you know, it'll be coming around turn 4 at the end, you'll be right there at the end, because, almost everything else is come in, the shelving will be here tomorrow. I shouldn't say that, the cabinetry, it will be here tomorrow, won't be installed because we still gotta let the floor, so the floor actually in. But we gotta have it climate controlled in there before we can set the floor, so we're still waiting on a white and blue truck to come over there and move the power. As soon as they do that, then we're back going. Everything else is right on time. I did ask them about cleaning up the lot, and we went over there and started today, trying to clean up some of the stuff so that it spruced up and it looked a little bit better over there, and, it decided to monsoon this evening, so it didn't get finished, so hopefully they'll be back and finish that up. The railings up outside looks gorgeous, they got a few more little things out there to do on it. So all the hand railing around it and everything else. The library committee has secured a mason to come in and set the pavers out front. Just waiting on his time schedule to get him in there. That'll change the appearance from the front side. The front and rear doors are nearing completion, but we still got a little bit longer on for them to get completed. And as soon as they get here, then they'll be shipped off and installed.
It's a good looking building.
Mhm.
And it's gonna be, really
Got
good
some nice,
looking
got some nice features in it. A lot of character in there, really does look.
Yes.
I think the town really gonna have a problem with it, but other than that, looks like it's moving.
What about the fountain? Someone asked me about the fountain.
The fountain is all done and ready,
Okay.
and,
Bud?
of course, we got the power running, and during that, we found out that our panel box at the park was a little bit short on power, so we were having to upgrade.
I'm talking about one in the park.
No, he's talking about the
Library,
same
you're talking about
one.
library, okay, great.
He's talking about the same one.
No, you talking about the light, I thought you were talking about the fountain over here.
I am.
Y'all got too many fountains.
I'm
This
sorry.
fountain over here is just about ready.
Okay,
We
I
gotta
thought
do a
you said it
change
was
over
run to
there.
the park.
The fountain at the lake
Sharp
is,
Park, Main Street Park, okay.
the fountain on Lake, since we were wise enough to ship it off before the hurricane zone was saved. That sounded good, right? If it had been here, it may have got damaged with everything else. It's in, okay, and being repaired and waiting for us to tell them to bring it back. So. I thought you were talking about the fountain.
Okay,
The fountain over there, the
tell me about
fountain over there
this
is just
one
about ready
too. It's
too.
almost ready, okay, that's
It's
all they
almost ready,
asked
we
me.
just gotta do a little
Okay.
power thing again over there.
You know, we've been waiting 3 years for Duke Power to put a light pole up at the end of Bethesda and Saunders.
Mhm.
Hopefully,
So hopefully it won't take that long for them to come.
I sure hope so.
Adam, how you fix Tony? That was a great article, by the way, the pilot, how's things coming in with the playgrounds and everything?
Yeah, Hannah, she came specifically to our advisory board.
That was a good
Those
article.
updates, so
A
she
lot of
got-
people have talked about it.
Good. Parking lot's just about done. I think if it ever stops raining, they'll be able to stripe it. Which will be nice, cause the lower portion, other than the playground, the lower portion's in good shape. So that'll really open things up there.
What about the trail? How's the trail?
The rain is slowing that obviously as well as everything else, particularly between the dam and the bridge, cause that area is always, I just talked to the contractor today and actually told him just, at this point, work on the rest of the trail. And, we'll just come back to this portion when the faucet gets turned off on it. So that should start moving a little bit quicker as we focus on those other areas.
What about the ground cover for the playground? What does that look like?
We are trying to secure 2 other bids. We've got the one from the original contractor. We're running into a little bit of issue. Some contractors don't wanna bid on someone else's previous, but I found at least a second one to bid. I haven't heard back from a third, but I'm gonna push them on that one as well. So that way we can have our 3 bids moving forward. The original bid from the original contractor wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So I think we've got at least one good one in hand. but we'll secure those other two.
And what happened to the last round?
Unfortunately, when the water came through, my theory is one of those picnic tables that got slammed up against the fence, caught the back edge, and it caused that, plastic, caused the
Ground
border to
cover.
come up,
Yeah.
and that's when the water went under the rubber.
Yeah.
It actually was okay on top of the rubber surfacing, but it got down into the stone base of the,
Yeah.
and compromised the base.
Doesn't it have lifetime warranty on it? No?
Not
Or
for,
20 years, it has something on it.
yeah, not for water
Damage.
getting under the
Okay.
base, yeah.
Yeah, we had one that had
Yeah,
that
if it had
replaced.
stayed on top of
It
the
had
rubber,
warranty.
it would have been okay.
Yeah.
You know, Gerald Monroe, do you know Mr. Monroe? I just had to run into him the other day, we were out eating in a restaurant, I hadn't seen him in a while, but, do you know Gerald Monroe? You know it. He's
think
the
so,
last
yeah.
one that did any work on that bridge, I
Yep.
think.
Mhm. Yeah, we had Gerald out there replacing boards.
Yeah, and I asked him, I said, are you ready to come back? And
Did he finish talking to you or just run away?
I'll let him tell you what he said.
Sure.
But he was the last one that worked on it. Now, that bridge is damaged, is that correct?
Well, yeah, it certainly seems like it has been shifted by the water.
With no idea how to tackle that yet.
We've gotten some initial, opinions of what it would take to replace essentially at this point.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that we've discussed with FEMA.
When it was built, wasn't the lake drained to build it?
Yes.
I think it was drained to build it the first time. So whenever this comes back around, probably gonna have to drain the lake to get out there and build that bridge. And if you think about it, the trail doesn't work without that bridge. I mean, you walk it, but you gotta come back the way you
It'd
walk.
be a biathlon.
Yeah,
You can swim it for that.
well, you could, yeah, you could do that. But,
Put a float bridge out there,
well, that's not a good
put a
idea.
pontoon bridge out there.
Put some pontoon.
I think the
bridge.
manager's got an update on the.
Okay, all right. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
just a quick summary, and these are, remember, a list, I've talked about a lot of the key ones already. So these are the projects that have been submitted to FEMA for consideration. And, you know, they're reviewing that. We had to kind of fine tune a few of the estimates after we met with them. It's probably been about 2 weeks now, so I don't know if we have a timeline on FEMA yet, but I still think they're several weeks out before they're gonna give us an answer. Remember with FEMA, I know we haven't even met since we had the flood, which is hard to believe. It seems like it was so long ago now. But you know, there was a declaration for public assistance, meaning roads and bridges and playgrounds and things like that. To show some qualifying elements to get those funded. And of course, your numbers and your, you know, your estimates have to be accurate. So they're working through that right now with FEMA. So we do hope and expect to get some public assistance from FEMA. Our list right now, if you do the numbers, if they're, you know, they're close with the estimate for some of the builds, you know, it comes to over 2 million. It's 2.3 or over 2.3 million for repairs. Y'all have talked about a lot of the park items. There's some additional engineering fees, there's some fence damage, of course, the parking lot, the electrical, which, you know, that's, you know, relatively fixed. Both of the bridges, the one you talked about, and also the bridge that's closer, just checking to make sure it's okay. We think the lower, the dam is, the dam is gonna be okay. We had that inspected. Some other stuff at Saunders, the boat dock, it seems fine now. Other engineering fees, and then some other kind of expensive things. The water line base repair. I don't know, Phil, if you can expand on that a little bit. But that was a big number, it was like $750,000.
I seen Joe joking explain it.
Yeah.
That's actually the 10-inch water line that crosses the lake by where the rescue squad was. It is on concrete piers crossing there, and those piers were shifted.
So were they?
Yeah, so with all the design and environmentals that have to be done, that will be the tricky part. It's probably gonna be very expensive.
Once you added the sewer line down off of behind Public Works and the water line there and the bridge itself, pedestrian bridge, that's where your bulk of your money comes in. And that comes in, one, when you put it back, you got, like you said, meet the environmentals, and you gotta meet the FEMA standards and everything, and all the engineering and architectural and wetlands and all that stuff that goes into it to even go in and work, and that's just runs those numbers out the roof.
Yeah, those two projects alone are like $1.2 million.
It's all,
Where does that water line go to? Homes
Got
across,
the booster
ah,
station,
to where?
the booster pump behind the lake.
Oh, okay,
It's coming from, basically, water from tank 5, we can send it to tank 3. It just comes across that area and it comes in through Colonial Heights. Everything funnels in through that one spot.
so it's a major line.
Yeah, and then, so that's where most of the money is. There's other washouts between sidewalks and a few
Yeah.
road edges that are, we repair a lot of those are in the process, but we're still looking for reimbursement for some of that. And of course, debris removal, cleanup, that could be in the $25,000 range for our effort to clean up the debris. So it's a big number, and so we're just working through the process with FEMA to see where it ends up.
while we're under that other business, do we need to do anything about us going ahead with the, paving? Remember we did a straw vote, not a, we just called everybody on the phones about going ahead with the
Don't call me.
repairs.
Oh, it's on the consent, wasn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, it was on consent. Yeah, they voted on it. Yeah, they did.
I don't remember it. What did you call about?
It was an email. It was an email vote.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, asking about going ahead and doing the paving over there.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I responded to that, okay.
Yeah, the lake part,
Okay.
the actual, the parking lot over there, yeah, to go ahead and get that done.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, no, that's it.
Yeah, your guys are busy. I tried to come down Main Street a while ago, couldn't get down Main Street. They got it blocked off.
We blocked off a lot of places down.
What was that east across Main Street or Depot yesterday? That was not a wreck, was it?
Yesterday,
Was it day before yesterday? Saturday or Sunday, one.
Where at?
You couldn't get across Main Street at the depot. It was blocked, the road was blocked. It was in the afternoon around 12 or 1.
I'm not sure.
It may have been the railroad, that's fine.
But Piedmont Natural Gas had it closed earlier.
Are you gonna charge,
Today, yeah, it might have been today.
you gonna charge Mr. Richardson for knocking out that fire hydrant?
Much water was coming down through those ditches while they were in there trying to work. I don't know how they were even doing anything.
They're gonna have to finish tomorrow.
I don't know.
The truck cannot keep up with all the stormwater coming in the ditch.
And I will add, on the FEMA part, things aren't looking very good with PA. And it was looking bad for individual assistance. I shouldn't say bad, it was not looking favorable. And now it's starting to say that it may be, criteria may get met for individual assistance and public assistance. And the difference is if your house was damaged and you didn't have flood insurance, or your business was damaged and it was a person, this will give access to grant money and possibly small business loans and stuff to go. Because we have a bunch of businesses in the houses that were impacted also. So things are looking good, and we keep meeting with FEMA regularly.
Good. Anyone else? I've got, if nobody else, I've got 2 cards that were sent to the mayor. And both are from Cameron. And I thought this was a beautiful little, postcard. This was ancient, old-timey Cameron. Train station still down there, the horse and buggies and that sort of thing. Pretty, somebody, let's see. Just painting of the historic town of Cameron, established 1875 by Janet McDonald Neville, and of Raleigh, and she evidently had done this. And what this is about, because I kind of people know who I am and I do history things, I
cannot think of who did it, and I'm embarrassed to not remember, but somebody came by my house some time ago with a cardboard box about this long, about this wide, just stacked with letters and papers and just all kind of history, and gave it to me. And I wish to goodness I knew who it was now, but anyway, it's been sitting in my house for 2 or 3 years. So the other day I said, I gotta do something with it. I don't know what's in it. So I started looking through it. It was all Cameron. It was not Aberdeen. And it was letters and documents and deeds and just one thing after another for old Cameron. We're talking about back to the Civil War. Cameron wasn't there in the Civil War, but it goes back to that area, even back as far as the Civil War. And I said, there's no reason for this thing to be in my house. It doesn't pertain to Aberdeen. So in June, I went to the Cameron town board meeting, and they have it at that night. They had it at the fire department in Cameron, and I was not on the agenda, but I came with this box, and so they graciously let me go first, and instead of waiting to public speaking or whatever. So I got up and I presented. I said, look, this is undoubtedly a history trove for the town of Cameron. And I pulled out some things and I was reading some things off. It was amazing. I wish to, and I told them, the town board was there. I said, I wish to goodness this had been Aberdeen, but it wasn't. It was Cameron. And so I presented it to the town of Cameron, and the mayor thanked me. So these 2 cards have come from this. One is from the town manager. What's Wendy's last name? Can you think of it? I can't think. Wait a minute, it's on here. No. You know who she's a town manager. Thank you for presenting the town of Cameron with such an awesome, quote, box of history. Our town historians beyond excited to be able to piece it together some more history of Cameron with your generous gift. And this was from the town manager. I'm telling you, it was unbelievable what was in that box. Letters from 1900, 1875, people that lived in that area. And that's the only way you could communicate back then was by letters. And I even was calling out some names, and I said, does anybody here even remember these people? And I think one person said, well, I've heard of this name before. So
Wendy Butner.
Yeah, wait, that's his Butner. That's right, it is. And this one is from the mayor, and she went on to say the same thing. What a wonderful gift presented Cameron on our town to our town of Cameron board meeting. Thank you for taking the time to come to us with the presentation. And she said, I took the opportunity to look through the box and read some of the letters. So interesting, exciting, exclamation point. There was one in particular where a woman was writing to her sisters. Now listen to this. April the 25th, 1864, right in the middle of the Civil War. Hoping the war would come to an end by summer. Fascinating, holding an artifact of the Civil War. We're most grateful for this special gift. Many thanks for holding on to it and for passing it along. I wish I knew who had given it to me. And I know they did it knowing that I studied history and had written the Aberdeen history book, but it was nothing pertaining to Aberdeen. It had to go to Cameron. I'm so glad they got it. And there was so much in there, it's gonna take a while to go through it. Just letters after letters after letters after letters. And if you sit there and had to read the letters, it'd take you some time to read the letters. But there were deeds, there were companies that were operating in Cameron that had material in this box that aren't there anymore. Lumber company and different things like that. But none of them exist today, so I was glad that I could get them to them. So I just wanted to let you know that that's where that box went, and again, I wished it had been Aberdeen. I think I'm through. Anybody else? All right, we're close out number 11, turn the page, and we'll go to number 12, closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11, parentheses A, parentheses 3, reserved attorney-client privilege, North Carolina General Statute 143, 1/318.11, parentheses A, parentheses C, consider the qualifications of competence, performance, character, fitness, conditions of appointment or conditions of initial employment of an individual police officer or employee of prospective public officer or employee.
I'll make a motion
gonna turn the camera back on.
Oh, shit.
Alright, we're ready.
Okay.
All right. Now, we need a motion to adjourn.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
And there's a second. All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
That's my business.
It is short, yeah. I was thinking of you the other day, I went by Page Road.